All right. Uh, Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. We are back on the Norman Kato podcast. As usual, I have the usual suspects: Ken, United fan,
Yeah,
and
man.
Oscar, a Liverpool fan. We believe that Clinton will be joining us shortly. But as for now, it's going to be a triple threat. Before we kick off the show, I would like to let the gentlemen greet you guys. It's been 3 weeks without shooting. I had a few issues I was dealing with personally, but yeah, we are back. So, gentlemen, greet the viewers.
I think Ken should start. The man is too excited.
I came to this show for one purpose, to laugh at Liverpool.
Since I'm
It's
going
okay. It's okay. Please
today,
greet,
I'm
So
greet,
anyway,
greet our. Yes.
so guys, as I've been introduced earlier, my name is Ken. I'm a staunch United fan. Things have not been going well, but I hope we shall be back to contend for the title as usual.
You're funny.
The calculations that were there the last few weeks, but then
You're,
losing
you're, you're,
losing
you're-
that game last week hurt me a lot because now we are still far away from that title contending.
you,
Yeah,
you just messed up your
uh,
statement by adding the word calculations.
but we shall be back very soon. At least we are not bad as Liverpool at the moment. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. Subscribe and interact with us. Yeah, thanks.
Oscar. Oscar, your network is already freezing. Eh? What's up?
Oscar is smiling endlessly.
All right, people. Oscar will be back. I think his network is lagging, but he'll be back shortly. Well, uh, where can I start from? Um, Oscar. Oh, well, he's here.
Yes.
Mm.
Sorry about that.
Well, great people. Let's go.
Hey, guys. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with how Liverpool is performing. Yeah. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Wherever you're tuning from, yeah, this is
Mm.
Oscar, Liverpool fan. We're here to dissect our issues and use less of emotions to dissect the issues because uh, there needs to be a difference between a fan and someone who at least put some analysis to, into some of these things. So
Mm.
yeah, with a bit of emotions, yeah, I'll really try my best to use more of uh, the brain work than emotions. Yeah, let's
Well,
go.
um, a lot has been going on
Mm.
recently. Personally, I've been really having a hard time, but guess what? My team has been cooking, and as you can see, um, I'm I'm showing up like a boss because my team is bossing over everything. Okay,
Okay.
let me land. Ken, you have your time, okay? Relax. Well, Arsenal is top of the league, Premier League, UCL. We are topping everything, man. And yeah, I love what I'm saying. Just know, I love what I'm saying. But we'll touch on Arsenal later. The two people you see here have cases to answer, and Ken, you just handed Moyes his first win at Old Trafford. Hmm?
In 13 years. Actually,
In
as
13
team
years.
person, not one. The last time Everton won at United was when Moyes was our coach. Can you
Mm.
imagine? That is like 13 years ago. So it was really embarrassing for him to come back again and beat us. at Old
But
Trafford.
he did just beat you. He beat you with a man less.
Yes,
That's
Yeah,
also
I
with
want you
one
to
man
put that
down. So it
context.
was very
Can
embarrassing.
Everton beat you at home? I mean, they got this red card at around 10th or 14th minute, if I'm not mistaken. And you
Yeah.
guys just puffed and puffed and puffed till the game ended. I mean, bro, talk to me. What happened?
Yeah, it was, first of all, it was a very controversial red card there, something that rarely happens in games. You know, two players, Idrissa Gana Gueye and I think Kane, they are clashing each other. They are violently, aggressively pushing each other. Eh? I think Kane was blaming Ghana for losing the ball to Bruno Fernandes recklessly. So they got into that argument so that one of them getting sent out. I think did this slap the other? Did this slap Kane
Yeah.
or yeah? It was something like that.
Mm.
So it was a very controversial red card there, which put us at an advantage of being one man more than their team. But we didn't take advantage. Instead of taking advantage, we relaxed because prior to that red card, we were actually trying to push. But after that, we became very relaxed. We were not pushing the ball forward. I mean, and Everton came with, I think they came one knowing what they want. Eh? And United on that day we just looked very clueless. We didn't know what we wanted. I don't know if the coach just didn't get the game right, but everything just looked off on our side. So they took an advantage with that goal from the, was it Drisbury Hall, that guy from Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it became very hard for us to come back from that. We tried. The keeper was really good there. So game ended 1-0 and we took our loss.
Mm. Before our game, you had a lot of man. You had a
Yeah, I
lot of.
mean,
Yeah. Why are you speechless now? I mean, you need to have a lot of chest for your team, man. Why are you now
man,
speechless?
to be honest, I was so disappointed because before that we are getting the momentum. We are coming back to winning ways. I mean, teams were starting to fear us, but I don't know that is one thing that I hate about these international breaks. If you have a good momentum and then you get an international break, there's a way it can kill your momentum, eh? Like if you're in a winning streak, there's a way
Oh,
those things just cool down everything, and
oh,
we
it's
found
it's now
ourselves losing to
a
Everton
break.
again.
It's now the international break, man. You're blaming the international break for your loss. Guy, you're
No,
shameless.
for me, from the start, I don't feel like this guy that the rotation was too much. First of all, with the team,
Yo,
because we have our striker Sesko is injured, so he had to bring in Mount to start in his place,
Oscar.
and in doing that,
Oscar, are you
yeah.
going to let this guy get away with his crimes, man? Right now he's puffing. Oh, it's the international break, the rotation now. Oh, you
no,
guys
but
was
I'm
talking
just trying
about
to I'm just
winning the
trying to tell you
title.
what.
Before this weekend, you was talking about winning the title. All of a sudden now you have injuries. Everyone tell you what, everyone has injuries, man. Everyone has. You was in my inbox telling me, you guys, we are coming for you, blah 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 blah. Now what now? Now all of a
You
sudden you don't
see,
have, yeah,
I'm
you
trying to
don't have the
explain to
if
you
I
energies.
now.
may, Ken,
Let me first continue, Oscar. First, wait. Now,
it's
no,
okay.
no man, it's if I remember very well, actually, Oscar sometimes said that Arsenal can scare us all at once, but we know if Ateta is still the coach, something can still go wrong. You get? So the coach plays a very big. That's why I was telling you that the team selection from the start was not good because we have Mazraoui who has not been playing games starting ahead of and Ahmad being shifted to the left side, which we all know is not good at. So by the time we realized we are one nil down, and this team was defending. They're playing a low block, so it became very hard for us to penetrate their defense and score a goal because all
Ken,
we were doing was crossing, and yet we did not have good ball headers.
Ken,
We have Mbeumo, those guys at the front. Those guys are not good at heading, and yet all we're doing for that game was cross. So we fell down for that game. I accept.
but apparently your
Mm.
coach said you didn't know how to play against 10 men. That is a United coach, a Manchester United coach. You didn't know how to play against 10 men. Really?
No, he didn't say that because
He
actually, if you
said it.
look at the games we have
He
won,
said it. He said it. This is not banter. He said it. You can go check his presser, his
First,
post-match
allow the man
interview.
take some water. First, allow the man take some water.
let me take
Take
water.
some water,
Yeah,
Ken.
he will need it. He will need it because Manchester United was back 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden, he doesn't
You
have a
know, you know.
talk, man.
No
Talk.
worries, no
People
worries.
need to hear you speak. Speak up.
But Ken,
What
you need to
did
Enough to
own
have
up
told
you
this
you
do
that the
thing.
again?
problem was the coach for that game because
No, Ken, if I
we
may,
looked, yeah.
Ken, if I may,
Mm.
I watched that game only first half, but first half was enough to tell me everything about that game.
Yeah. Mm.
You see, your team is a team that has struggled for a very long time. So jumping the gun and starting to talk in one season where things are looking bright, saying things are looking like they are getting bright, just for a
Mm.
short time, starting to talk about titles and all that. That is a clear example of someone who doesn't learn from history. It's a clear example of someone who doesn't learn from history. This team that has gone on this, you talked of 6 or 5 games unbeaten. This team is
Mm.
actually average. I'm telling you the truth. This team is actually average. So the thing is that the best thing I'm telling you this just not even as a rival fan. I'm telling you this as someone who at least has a small idea about football. At least you should have just be grateful for the progress that the team has made, but hyping your expectations to the level of EPL trophy. hmm, It is actually you going way above your head. And another thing, that game alone, when they were actually 11 players, the signs were very clear that Everton knew what to do. Everyone knew what to do in every particular position of Everton. And I believe it would have actually been worse if actually there were 11 men on that pitch. So blaming the coach, I don't think there's no a need to blame the coach. Sometimes you need to look and be like, you know what, this team actually played better than us. The fact that they actually went a man down even made it worse because who are the people running that midfield? Bruce Berry Hall. Those are the people who are running that midfield. And if
Of
there's
course,
one
when I
thing we know
tell you
about
that I'm
Everton,
blaming the coach plays a lot in team selection and deciding how the team is going to play. That's why I'm blaming the coach
yes, yes, I'm not
because
arguing about that, but
he
what
was
I'm saying,
playing players in unnatural positions.
no, 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 no. Let me tell you
And
something. That Man U team should have been good enough if they were actually good, better than Everton on that day. They should have been good enough to actually beat that Everton team. But they were not good enough to beat that team, either at Everton or at home. It's because that team right now is better than your team. There are some things that you need to admit. You need to
okay,
accept some things. That team is that it's like how let me give you a good example that you can maybe relate with. Uh,
mm,
it's like how um it's like how Liverpool played against Brentford. Hmm? Now, there is no one who looks wake up and be like Brentford has a better squad than Liverpool. Even right now, no one will say that. But that game when it was played, there is no way you would dice that game in whichever way. There is no way Liverpool was beating Brentford with the way they were playing because Brentford was beating them in every duel. Okay, let's look at the most one of the most recent games, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest was out dueling Liverpool in everything. Every second ball, Nottingham Forest was taking it. That is the same thing that Everton was doing to you guys. And if it was actually 11,
so
I can
so
actually
let
that
me
game would
ask
have
you.
ended 1-0. Yeah.
Let me ask you. So you have
Yes.
never taken the blame onto the coach when your team loses because
No, no, you
you could
see,
never say that your
you
coach
see,
does anything
no,
wrong.
no, 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 no. My point here is your primary blame is going to the coach, and of which I think you're actually getting it wrong. Because I can assure you, there is no squad that Amorim would have put out on that game of Man U that would have actually beaten that Everton team. They were just better than you on that day. It's the same thing. If Liverpool starts telling me that there is something that they would have tweaked against Nottingham Forest, yes, maybe they would have tweaked something, and maybe the team would have lost with lesser goals. But at the end of the day, they were outdueling us. They were everything. So there is no way you were going to tell me that what that if we were going to actually beat Nottingham Forest. They were going to beat us. Maybe the manner in which they would have beaten us would have been different. So that's my same point here. My point is Everton was going to beat you guys, whichever squad you had put out. Because on that
Okay,
day,
now let me
they
shock
were
you
way
with
better
this.
than
Eh?
you.
Let me shock you
Yes.
with this.
Yes, please.
Um, let me show you how I can actually confirm for you that we had more attacking threat than them. But that keeper was brilliant on that day. You get so individual players, individual brilliance also played a part in them beating us. So it's
Ken,
not like they outplayed
Ken,
us
can I
or
Let,
ask you
let
a
me,
question?
destroyed us totally. It wasn't like
no
that.
man, no
There are
man,
such
no
games
man,
where you can no man. Okay,
no man.
do you remember the
Let me
Man
also
U
let me also
versus
shock
Arsenal
you.
game? Do you know why Amorim still says that is the best game that we have played, regardless of the fact that we lost? Because we played against
Why?
Arsenal very well, but they still got a goal. So it
I
can
can
still
assure you.
happen. You can beat a
Now
better
let
team
me
and
use
still
those.
lose.
Let me use those two examples.
Mm.
Against Arsenal, that game, they would have given you another 2 hours and you would have scored. That one I can guarantee you, even without speaking, knowing anything about the future. In that game against Arsenal, you would have had another 90 minutes or another 2 hours, and Man United, you were not going to score. I
That would
can
be so
assure
bad.
you.
Raya
Let
was
me let me let
outstanding.
me let me give you an example. Against Liverpool versus PSG, PSV, sorry, PSV. Liverpool had three chances. McAllister two chances, then another two chances. Keeper to beat, or keeper beaten, and then someone clears the ball on the line. Please tell me, what, just because we had more chances than them, does it mean that Liverpool played better than PSV? But they beat us 4-1. My point is that it's not about the chances, it's about what you actually do with what you have. That's my point. My point is that there is no way, there is no team you would have put out. You see, my brother, what I'm saying here is that Amorim deserves blame. The players deserve blame. But your primary blame shouldn't be Amorim. In my view, there is nothing Amorim would have done that would actually have changed anything in that game. In my view, I feel that Everton was better than you guys on that particular day, and there's no way you guys are going to beat them. The reason why I believe you wouldn't have beaten them, they were 10 men, and they still actually scored when they were 10 men. They didn't score when they were 11, they scored when they were 10. A very good, well, you guys. Imagine Everton working a very good, touch pass. Which Everton? We expect Everton to score things like free kicks and all that. Everton was working, you guys. So that tells you everything you need to know. So, in my view, it had nothing to do with
Ken,
that wasn't the primary reason why you guys
I
lost.
want
It was down
I,
to
I
they
want
were
to
just better
ask
than
you
you
this.
guys.
Why did you keep on crossing the ball when you don't have
Hmm.
any aerial threat in the box? You don't have
That is
Maguire
why
That's a
I'm
who
good
can
telling you
question.
that
go,
it
but
comes
you
out to
kept
that
on
because we
whipping
do
on the
not usually
ball.
cross the ball. When we have Sesko, we are not crossing the ball, and then we suddenly have clowns at the front. We are Zagzi. Zagzi was very terrible by the way because he has not been playing games. He has not been having game time, and then he comes back. He looked very clumsy. Was losing the ball here and there. Our midfield wasn't good. I mean, I just don't get why we are still stuck with Bruno playing backwards instead of moving in front. So some of those things for me, it just goes to the coach because you have Bruno Fernandes who's
Mm,
a very brilliant attacker and you're playing him back. It doesn't make
Yo,
sense.
mm.
That's why sometimes I
Ken,
just
Ken,
point out to the
sorry,
coach.
sorry to cut you so short.
Mm.
Today I have so many receipts, man. There was a trend that was moving on Twitter.
Mm.
Apparently, Bruno Fernandes is better than Cesc Fabregas. Yeah, I saw it somewhere on Twitter.
You guys
Always.
are unbelievable, man. You guys are unbelievable. Who
Carry
says
on,
that?
carry on, carry on, bro.
No, 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 no. We are not
You
carrying
have to
on. Who
start that
says that?
argument also.
United
We,
fans, in your
we are
mind,
not carrying on. We are not carrying on. Who
you're on
says
edge.
that?
But the
Did you
truth
see that?
is, Bruno
Did
Fernandes,
you see
what really
that?
lets him down is the fact that he does not have trophies. He does not
Does
have
he
a
get
Premier League trophy.
anywhere
He
near
does. But if
Oh
he,
Fabregas?
my
if
I
he had
God.
want you
those
to
things, he
answer
would be
me.
chatting the likes of Kaka. I'm telling you, my friend.
Nah, oh my
He would be
God.
chatting those guys if he had
No.
those
Oh my
trophies.
God. Oh my God. Oh my
Ken,
God.
did you just
Ken,
say
can you stop? Can
He does not have
Ken,
trophies. That
please?
puts him at a very big disadvantage when you're
Ken, what have
comparing
Did
you
you
him
just
with
put
done?
him
other
in the same
players.
category with Kaka? Did you
Bruno
just put him
Yes.
in the
Fernandes
same category
can't
with
catch
Kaka?
Kaka. Please, please. Oh, Jesus
Please.
Christ. Ken. Ah, man.
Okay, we move
Bruno
on. We move.
Fernandes is
Let's
Ken is
move
a
on.
his
Manchester
category is
United
Odegaard.
fan.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Ken
But
is
man,
a
Ken.
stop being
United
blasphemous, here, man. You're
Mm-mm.
Yo,
being blasphemous, here, man.
That's not
I know,
That's
blasphemy.
I
blasphemy,
know,
man.
I know
That's not
you're
blasphemy.
fond of making controversies, but man, this is up there, eh? Bruno Fernandes chatting to Kaka. Are you being serious now?
Do you know why? Do you know why players like Rodri came to win the Ballon d'Or?
They
Nah,
took
the
their,
Bal-
Do you
they
think it
actually
was
Ballon d'Or
lifted
about
their
doesn't
teams.
do you
make
think it was
sense
about
anymore.
individual
It doesn't
brilliance?
make sense. It
It was
lost
because he
meaning.
won the it was because he won the Champions League, the
Nah,
Premier League. You get without trophies, there is no amount of individual brilliance that is going to save you.
Bruno
You get
Fernandes is not the type of guy you
it's
think he is.
because it's because he has no
Yo,
trophies on the table.
nah,
No man,
nah.
no
If he
man,
had
no
many
man,
of
no
those
man,
You can't
wait.
trophies,
up to
and
the
No
then
man,
levels
wait.
of those guys. Kaka, did
No
you
man,
rate
no
Kaka?
man, hold on. No man, hold on. No man, hold on. No man, hold on. We are talking about Rodri. We are talking about Kaka. Let me start with Rodri. Rodri, in his position, he actually lifted his team. He was pivotal to his team's trophies. In that, when you take him out, his team wasn't. Actually, as when as a six, he was the one who was scoring the winning goals. In the Premier League, when things were tight, in the Champions League, he scored the winning goal. I mean, that is how pivotal he has been to his club. So they're talking about just trophies. He was being pivotal. Now let me bring you now to this senior guy called Kaka. My friend, Kaka is one guy that one hand like he lifted AC Milan to
mm,
Champions League. It was just because Gerard went crazy in that Champions League in 2005 when Liverpool won it. But he had single-handedly lifted his club. Now, please tell me, when has Bruno Fernandes ever single-handedly lifted his team to win a trophy? So you see, it is things like that that make your what actually invalid. You get it? So in my view, I believe Bruno Fernandes is a very good player. Very good, and I rate him highly. But please, know your levels. He's above people like
the
Odegaard. Those are the
reason why
people
you
that
guys are now
I don't
the
rate
reason why
Bruno
you guys are
Fernandes
now demeaning
highly. No,
the
I
reason why
don't.
you guys are belittling Bruno Fernandes, one of that is because he's in a Man United team which has poor players. He's surrounded by poor players. Let's all accept that.
You
If
see,
this
yeah,
Bruno
oh
Fernandes was
please.
in a good team for a long time,
Himself is poor. Himself is
Ken,
poor.
Ken, you see, yeah, in this Premier
anyway,
League
I'm talking
era,
with biased people, so there's no I'm
no,
going
no,
to
no,
win this
Ken,
argument.
This is not even bias.
Mm.
I've watched Premier League for
Okay,
quite some
no man,
time.
let
Yeah.
me ask you.
No,
Bruno
no, let me
Fernandes,
learn. Let
Odegaard,
me
who is
learn.
better?
Let me learn. You're going to ask your question now. I've watched so many midfielders in this Premier League era, and I
Mm.
can tell you, Bruno Fernandes doesn't come anywhere near those top playmakers I've watched. He
No,
doesn't come
no, no,
close
no,
to
no,
David Silva.
no,
He can't chat to
no
one man.
man.
Huh?
No man, no man. You're going far. Just ask him. In the all-time list of midfielders of Man U, where do you rate Bruno
Where
Fernandes?
do you rank Bruno Fernandes?
All-time Man U midfielders.
Midfielders. Top top 15 is there. Trust me. Top 15.
Oh my God! He has 15.
He
So if he's 15 in Man U
is
alone, how
top
do you expect him to be even
15.
in top 10? Top 10 in there
I
or
mean,
top
Apparently,
20?
United is above top 10.
apparently,
United is
he's better
above
than
top 10.
Kaka. Yo,
How do you, okay,
apparently
okay.
this guy is better than Kaka, according to
If we
Ken.
bring Kaka, if we bring Kaka in that Man U team, he
Mm.
would not be above top three. He would not be above your top three. He would be top three in your and then you're talking of Bruno Fernandes who is in oh my God, you guy. Please, please
Okay.
Ken,
put people like Odegaard in that
Kaka played
category.
with good players surrounding him. So
Oh
Bruno
my
Fernandes
God.
was
Listen to
unlucky
this
that he has
guy.
played with clowns, man. Playing with
Well,
the
he's a
likes of
clown too.
Fred, playing with the likes of Fred, McTominay.
Birds of the same feathers flock together.
Ken,
Okay, guys, we can
I'm
we
going
can
to
move
make
on.
sure I'm going
We
to
can move
clip
on.
this segment
Mm.
for people out there to see your ridiculous claims. Bruno Fernandes in the same sentence as Kaka. Okay, please
Oh my
carry
Trophies.
God.
on.
There's a
Carry
thin
on.
line there, which is trophies.
There is no thin line, man. There's no thin line. People, you see, the good thing, Dowie is wearing that iconic AC Milan jersey. If you had a chance to watch Kaka play, I mean, did you see what he
Can
did at
can
Old Trafford
can you
when
watch
Gabriel
Kaka?
Henze and another
Can watch
defender
Kaka?
beside?
I have not said
Yo,
that he was brilliant. I mean, I've not said that he was not brilliant. He was good. He was very good. Hmm?
mm,
He's a
mm-hmm,
legend. We respect him.
mm-hmm.
I tell you today that if Bruno Fernandes retires, he's going to be a legend. He's going to be in the books because
Man,
he's
Wow.
good.
carry on with your United
Wow.
submission.
You guys want to appreciate players after retiring, after dying, or something like that. Give the man his flowers because he has really been good. I mean, he has
What
been
has he
a
done?
Manchester United player for years now, decades almost.
Oh
Hmm?
no, 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 no. It has
Oscar,
been the gear. It has
Oscar,
been the gear, Sebo.
Oscar.
It was De
He has
Gea,
been the
and the
guy.
fact that it was a keeper, and no, it was De Gea before he left. I think
Ah,
1 or 2 seasons before he left.
come
And the
on.
only reason, no, he has been your player of the season. Am I the one who was choosing? It was you, man, who was choosing. He
The
was your
facts are
player of the
there.
season until 1 or 2 seasons before he left. I'm telling you the truth. That is the. It is you guys. It's Man fans who are choosing. Bruno Fernandes has never. That guy was for 5 or 6 straight seasons. The guy was your. It was you Man U fans who are choosing. So by the
Yes.
time a keeper is your best player, please, don't, because you look. Then before you continue, you're talking of Kaka playing in a team of good players, but by the time he's playing with superstars and he's the one carrying those superstars, that should tell you something. It should tell you something, my
I don't
brother.
feel like carrying superstars. They carry each other.
So that guy. No, that guy carried that team. That guy carried. Actually, the next Champions League he won after Liverpool beat them. He played against Liverpool. That was 2007. That guy carried that team to that Champions League. It was tight on them, but he was the one who actually was holding that team together. Then Madrid after that came for him. My friend,
But
don't joke
but
around
but
with
have you ever
Kaka.
had
And are you reading the
Oscar?
comment
Oscar, let me
section?
ask you. Have you ever heard of the argument that I don't know who said it? You're a good football player, eh? Until you come to the Premier League.
It was just
Bruno
Robert
Fernandes has
Sanchez.
been shining in the
They
Premier
just
League for
said it
your
just
information.
a day ago. Robert
Hmm?
Sanchez. It
No, I
is
can I
Robert
can
Sanchez that
testify.
said it.
We have witnesses. Look
Mm.
at Vats. Was a very good player. 150 m. I mean, this is the Premier League, my friend.
Was he
If
great?
if Bruno
Was he
Fernandes
great?
has been putting such numbers in the give the man his flowers because we have
Ken,
never seen Kaka in the Premier League.
Ken,
Oh my
Ken.
God! Oh my God! Premier League is now Premier League is now their level. Is now the one that we are supposed to use.
Is the benchmark.
Kenny, you're funny, man. Kenny, yeah, no, Premier League is not the benchmark. Oh my God.
EPL is the
Oh
Eh,
my
benchmark.
God. It's the benchmark. I don't know. I don't know. Oh my God. Anyway, can you continue? Let's give you your time.
Ken, continue.
what more do I have to answer? No man. I think I even forgotten
And
the
you were
question
still
that I
Wow.
talking
was.
about why you lost against Everton. So please carry on.
I
Sorry
think I
for the
explained it,
interruption.
and for me, although no man begs to disagree, for me, I cannot rule out the fact that the coach cost us in that game. Surely, also the mentality of the players really, because when they went one man down, there's a way we just developed a cold feet. Guys were not pressing. They were not. I mean, they felt like we have already won the game because we are one man ahead of them. So,
Mm.
but before they realized we are one goal down, and these guys just went back to defending, and yeah, that's how we lost.
Can I ask?
Mm.
Do you agree with my statement that I made immediately after your game? I said United is one of the poorly coached teams in the league.
That's what
Do
I
you
said.
agree with that statement?
That's what I said. That's why I'm
Because
blaming the coach.
because honestly, I didn't understand the strategy of whipping in box time after time in the
I
box,
mean, why are we playing? Why are we
and you
playing five
don't have
defenders against a team that is one man down? We could have
exactly.
just restructured and pressed them until we got a goal or a penalty somewhere. But there was nothing like that.
Okay, I'm going to pose another question to you.
Mm.
Do you still believe he's the right man for the job, or he should be sacked?
No, for me, I've never believed, even after we won that 3 games in a row.
Mm.
I mean, that can happen once in a while. But losing to
Mhm.
teams like Everton at home is why, for me, I can never support a coach like that.
But
Get?
uh, a majority of your fans were saying you might be in the title conversation 2 weeks ago. These are not my words.
Himself, himself, he was
Yeah.
also saying so.
And if I'm not
Of
mistaken, you
course,
said it too. Yeah, right.
You
of course.
guys,
For
you
as
guys.
a fan, there's no
Oh
fan
my
who's not
god.
there's no fan who is not optimistic. So for me, I accept myself to dream sometimes. You get? I
I
accept
understand. Yeah,
myself
I
to
understand.
dream,
I
and
understand.
I mean, sometimes it's for banter, sometimes it's what you want, so you just speak it out.
Yeah,
Eh.
But
yeah.
okay,
But
but
uh, but the
realistically,
nature of the Premier League right
realistically,
now, hmm,
mm,
is the 10th player right now can win a game and go second. You get?
okay.
You get that point difference is between, I think, the 10th and the second. It's still like 2 points there.
But Oscar,
Hmm.
Yes.
I need to understand, how can you play one game every week and still look
Mm.
this bad? I mean, you're not even sure you are going to make top four, and you only play one game every week. Liverpool, Arsenal, City, they almost play 3 games in a week. Hmm? You guys play only
It's
one
it's
game.
for
I mean, let me land.
it's it's. Mm.
When I told you that you guys are proposing a friendly game against the unfit Arsenal team, you thought it is banter, but it is reality. That game is going to be played behind closed doors. I mean, it really,
Where did you
Ken,
get that information? Because I've not come across it.
I swear, on 27th, I mean, what's the day today? 20, let me
Today is
see.
28th. It said the game wasn't played.
That game was played yesterday, so try to do some research
It
about
was
it.
played
You
yesterday, but I don't know
exactly.
the score.
Because it is behind closed doors, that's why the info is not out there. But it actually happened. So I need to know. You play
Hmm.
one game a week, you have a whole lot of time to prepare for these games. But still, you turn up and look this bad at home against 10 men. Ken, come on. This is beyond the coach.
That
These
is what I'm
players have
saying.
to step
It's the
up.
coach.
Nah.
Allow me say
The coach
something.
and the
Allow me say
system has
something.
always been the fault here. The system and
Allow
the
me say
coach.
something.
Hmm.
Allow me say something. When the season began, you see, uh, I'm going to relate what that question to also Liverpool at the same time. When the season began, every team begins the season with particular objectives based on their squad, based on what they believe that they can achieve. Hmm? There is no
Hmm.
way you can tell me that Man U had realistic objectives or realistic plans that they are going to take Premier League this season. I believe it was something to do with top four, even with playing one game, because I believe they knew that they were going to play only one game each week, right from like 3 or 4 months ago. You get. So based on the squad that was assembled, they knew that our target is top four. You get. I believe that was one of the realistic targets. You get.
Yeah.
Now the problem is that depending on how the season is going, fans and maybe some pundits, because they want to, sell, this are a game of emotions. People start riling up things, and that's when you hear people talking of things like trophies, is it these, and then people start increasing expectations. But any sensible coach or any group of players would always keep their eyes on the prize and know that this is actually our target. Because based on what we have, this Man U team, and I've said it so many times, this Man U team is an average team. Forget about the big results you've got from average teams like Liverpool or below average teams like Liverpool. Yes, it's a big team and you beat a big team. Yes, it's fine. But I can assure you one thing. This this Man U team is an average team. So I would suggest, Ken, at the beginning of the season, I believe there are some particular expectations that you had.
Mm.
Maintain those expectations. It will help keep your blood pressure low, and it will help you understand that you know what. Yes, our team can. I'm sorry to go there, but it will help you understand that you know what we are playing a team. Our team can once in a while beat maybe a big team because this is the Premier League. Anyone can beat anyone. We can maybe once in a while beat a big team, and maybe results can go our way at some point. You get. But then at the end of the day, we know that our team is average. You get. It helps you keep your what your expectations in a good way. Let me bring that analogy still to Liverpool. When Liverpool began this season, and that's what about one of the things that pisses me off about Slot and all these people who are acting like these people who are. I'm not going to use that word. Let me just continue. Uh, Guys, at the beginning of the season, Liverpool's expectations were competing across all trophies. We are building a team for the future, but we're also what? We're also going to have a team right now that is what? That is actually competing. You get? when
Mm.
when when the transfer season what episode was done, people looked at the squad of Arsenal and Liverpool, and everyone would be like on paper, my God, Liverpool is going to really batter teams. You get? That was the
Mm.
thing, and no one can lie to me that in the boardroom where Slot was sitting at that point, he was talking of top four. That was not the discussion. The discussion was trophies, trophies, trophies as we build for the future. You get?
Mm.
So right now that things are going the way they are going, you have to look back at the expectation and be like, what are we doing wrong? What have we achieved? What have we not achieved? If you need to be sacked, you'll sack. If you need to change players, you change players. If you get it, that is the most realistic way of looking at this thing. I really urge you to stop looking at these things of how the media and then maybe rival fans, so maybe sometimes banter. You get it? And then maybe gets you riled up. Back to Manu. Manu, your expectations are top four. Your team is average. My brother, I'm telling you this not as a rival fan. I'm telling you that as someone who is being realistic with football. Your team is average. So losing to a team like Everton, yes, it happened. Go back to the drawing board. Accept that the team was better than you guys. Amorim, look at the mistakes you made. Where can we improve? Because I mean, we all know that midfield needs to be revamped. I think you also can agree on that, Ken. Your midfield needs to be revamped. You need some strong guys there. That's I believe that's the reason why you're looking at people like Balemba. You get. So I
Mm.
mean, those things like that help you keep your blood pressure low, help you actually stay smiling throughout the year, even when things are going bad, because you know what your expectations are. Otherwise, man, you start going with the air, with the wind. Every time, like your team goes 3 games in a row, and then you're talking of titles, my brother. Hey, you'll end up getting high blood pressure. Hey,
Uh,
yeah, hey, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I have to say about that.
Ken, are you reading the comments?
I'm seeing the comment. Someone is saying, I'm a dreamer. Of course, it's good to be a dreamer. Isn't that a compliment? It's a compliment.
No, not like slots. If you're a dreamer like slot,
If
my
you're not a
friend, then there's
dreamer,
a
then
problem.
I think life is not for you, because in this life you have to dream. You have to set your goals. You have to dream, and you achieve
Mm,
those dreams. So that is, I'll take it as a compliment.
yeah. Have you spoke whatever you wanted to say about United? Can we carry
Mm,
on?
we can carry on to Liverpool.
Dora, tetwakwaniriza wasaze ennyumba yakuttedde omuliro naye simanyi olina kyoyinza okwogera ku United, olina kyoyongerako? Tugende mu maaso. Okay.
No,
Um,
Liverpool.
I've enjoyed today's show, man. I've really enjoyed. Well, moving forward, on to Liverpool. Oscar, um, things are not really going well at Liverpool. You've
Yeah,
conceded 10 goals in the last 3 games, I believe. City, Nottingham Forest, and PSV. And To me, that PSV loss came as a shock. I mean, I was watching the Arsenal game and the score kept on popping up, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Well, I made to watch the replay and review the whole game, but I mean, I don't know. You guys must have watched the full game, so you know what really transpired. So please, what is really going on? What went wrong? Van Dijk, Konate, I mean, Salah, all these star players are not really performing. The coach is not finding solutions. I mean, talk to us, bro.
I'm going to look at this holistically and talk about it, not just on the based on the question you asked, but I'm going to try to download everything. So please just bear with me. Let me see where I can start from. So, but from where I started from in the earlier in my earlier analogy from Manu, that we started this season based with particular targets, and the targets were not things like top four. From the club itself, the talk was that we are going to try to compete across all four competitions. The talk was that we are building a team for the future, but we are also building a team. We also are looking at now. You get it? That was the analogy. I'm one person who, I mean, Norman, you know me. I've said this so many times and I've never backed down from it. I've
Mm.
always believed that where football is right now, football is fast and football has needs people who are strong. If you're not any of the two, you have to have some exceptional skill that you bring. You know, maybe I can talk of people like Tony Kroos. The man has a slick pass. Maybe not the strongest, not the fastest, but something you need to have something that you bring to the table to help counter all this. Now, Premier League in particular, that is where you even get exposed more. If you do not have speed, you do not what? You're not strong enough. I've always talked about that Liverpool, and it's not the first time I'm saying it about Liverpool's midfield. And now it has actually gone even more to even other areas. Liverpool's midfield is so soft that since last season I've been saying that midfield, anything with half a decent midfield, always dominates that midfield of Liverpool. The only difference from last season was that what? Liverpool was outscoring teams. Liverpool's mid what forward line was actually performing. Salah in particular. You get now things like that make me Joey and Ken, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, man.
Okay, I see no man had gone up. When we are talking about where things have gone wrong, right from the beginning of the season, it was clearly evident, and I remember saying it on this same platform. I say that the way Liverpool is currently set up, Liverpool is going to win games 5-4, 6-3, 3-1. In other words, what I was trying to say is that Liverpool cannot defend. That was what I was trying to say. But with what Liverpool has on the front line, Liverpool is going to try to outscore teams. And maybe the clean sheets they will get will be whereby teams are scared to come and attack them because they know that what? The front line is actually a threat. Now, let's come to now what is happening right now. Right now, the front line is not firing. The front line is totally dead. You get it? The front line is totally dead. There is nothing coming from them. So what does that do? That opens up the floodgates on this other side. You get it? It opens up the floodgates, and that means that teams are going to be scoring you. First 5 minutes, Liverpool is conceding. First two, we almost, I think we conceded some in some team. I think we conceded in less than a minute. That was, I think, against Man U. Because I think in less than a minute. I mean, come on, things like that they're not just happening as a surprise. For me, the only surprise for me is that Liverpool is not scoring also as other teams are scoring there. That's the only surprise for me. Liverpool is not scoring, other teams are not are scoring them. You get clearly for me that's the only surprise. So this squad as it is good enough, I believe, to actually score goals. But one of the things that I believe is actually not working and making the team actually not perform well, it has a lot to do with coaching. Now, a while back, I took time to look at things like how the forward line is performing. So we have Isak, we have Ekitike. Hmm? Now, I'm going to shock you guys with these statistics. So I went and checked the statistics and checked how many chances have Liverpool created for their strikers. And by strikers, I'm talking about Ekitike, I'm talking about Isak. Ekitike, now it's not just one league, it's not just Premier League. Across all competitions, Liverpool has created 7 chances. Seven chances for Ekitike. Let that sink in. Now, Isak, how many chances has Liverpool created for Isak? Now, let me shock you. Liverpool has created 4 chances across all competitions for Isak, and Isak has only scored 1 goal. You get? Now, because I love Isak so much, and I believe that guy actually he's not just doing badly because he's a bad player. I believe that there's something wrong. I went and then I looked at how Newcastle was playing. Newcastle, that forward line of theirs used to play looking at how can we create chances for our striker. Whoever is there, either it's Callum Wilson or it is Isak, they will always look for how do we create chances. Either it is Gordon or Barnes on this side, or it is Murphy or someone else, they were all looking at, or even in the middle. Those middle guys that are so hard, those Brazilians and the Italians, they will all look at how do we create chances for our striker. You get it? So now Liverpool has 2 9s who are costing over 140 million, something in that range. But they don't know how to create chances for these guys. You get it? I want to come to the coach, guys. Let's first go through the players. Now we look at Salah. Salah always is used to, creating his own chances, doing things here and there, and then he comes and scores. Now, the man is not performing. You get? He's not performing. The man can barely beat a player. Actually, he can't beat any player. Then we look at Gakpo. I believe that the way the system the way the system is constructed, Gakpo and Salah are expected to take on their one-on-one duels. They cannot. They can't. They are not doing that. Now, Salah used to do that in seasons past, but right now, as we speak, he cannot. For reasons only known to them, I'm not going to go into those reasons because it will be actually this speculation. Me, I'm looking at what we are seeing, what everyone can see. Gakpo cannot take on any player. He cannot beat any player. But that is what he is being expected to do. Now, sorry, I was going to the coach very early. Let me come back. I have already talked about the midfield. Now let me talk about the what? The defense. The defense. Yes, there are very many things that are new. But come on, guys, there are things that are beyond coaching. You can't tell me that Konate's performance is down to coaching. You can't tell me that VVD's performance is down to coaching. Those guys are horrible. Again, in the Brentford game, one pass split both of them. One pass from Damsgaard, split both of them. You get? That is how. And remember, the player that actually got the ball, the player was like miles away from actually Konate. That is how bad they were. Against PSV, that penalty. It's like I think Van Dijk's height and his size deceived him that he's a basketball player. The man is a professional footballer, man. The man- and the man was looking for. I just don't understand what was going on. You get? So things like that clearly make you start thinking. You get? When we talk about the goalkeeping department, I mean, our goalkeepers, I wouldn't say anything much about our goalkeepers. I believe that they are just working with the circumstances that they have been dealt. The cards they have been dealt are what they are working with. So I'm not going to say anything much about the what? The goalkeepers. But I mean, clearly, players like Kakis, they are at a point where they are not performing. Things are a bit tight for them. Right back. Now, before I go to the coach, let me just talk about right back, then I go to the coach. Guys, you have a situation whereby your two starting players in a particular position are out, and defense in particular. You get? But you have a defensive midfielder on the bench, you have a defender on the bench. Hmm? But you choose to deplete a very useless midfielder, a midfielder that is already useless. You choose to deplete it by removing your best midfielder. And you put your best midfielder in what? In defense. That's crazy. That is crazy. How the man has been playing Shoboslai and actually when Shoboslai moves to defense, he's still the best player. That's crazy, man. That's weird. Like that should tell you something. I mean, really. Hmm? Now let's talk about slot, guys. I believe that when we're talking about this, for all these players having issues and technical issues here and there, the head of all that is actually the coach. You get it? Now, everything has been going on, and this guy has been playing the same players, same system. And I believe it's actually a Dutch system because the Dutch system is all about attack, attack, attack. Which for me doesn't surprise me because by the time he has even a number six, who is not a number six, someone who can someone who can barely defend. Anytime we're talking about anything good about him, we're talking about his attacking. You know, that clearly tells you everything. But this is EPL we're talking about. One season where you perform well, the next season people have already figured you out. I believe teams invest a lot in actually figuring out team. And I believe one of the reasons why a coach like Pep has actually dominated is because he doesn't sit around when the season has ended. He doesn't sit around and just say that the team I had is actually going to be the same team that's going to perform the next season. The man improves the team. The man knows that, you know what, these teams are also not just sitting around. They're trying to improve. You get the man just sat around thinking that everything is going to be the same. He has been playing the same team over 12 games in EPL. And the man has been stinking up the joint. Now, for me, 100%, I would put that blame on the coach. You get the only team that actually went ahead of us on the score sheet and we actually came back and actually beat them was Frankfurt. And you know why? I remember Norman actually mentioned the reason why. They gave us too much respect. They gave the name Liverpool. They gave the name Liverpool too much respect. And then Liverpool just started walking into their goal, walking into their goal, walking into their goal. If you look at the goal that actually they scored, they split the defense, and the player that got the ball in the midfield, the guy ran at the defense from the circle of the midfield. He ran at the defense, and then one, two, three touches, the ball was in the net. Now, if they had actually continued in that same way, there's no way that game would have ended 5-1. They would have probably beaten us. You get it? So that is those are enough statistics or that's enough data for us to know that you know what this team 90 I would say 70% of the blame if you actually round it up 70% of the blame is on the coach and then maybe the 30% we shall put it on players. Now players like Konate who are really looking so terrible. I'll put that on a player like Konate. VVD, I'll put that on a player like VVD. Salah, I'll put that on a player like Salah. You get because
Yeah.
things like that, a coach is not going to tell you how to dribble. A coach is not going to tell you how to cross. You get we talked about chances for the strikers. Come on, guys. Why aren't you creating chances for the strikers? Now that comes down also to the coach. Coach, you brought 100 million strikers onto your team. How is it comes that you do not know how to make sure that these strikers get service? At least let the strikers miss. Eh? And then we saw that the strikers are missing. You get it? I've seen Joker is missing some chances. But at least the team plays to actually create for him. You get it? I've seen Voldemort missing chances. At least the team creates to actually what? To actually try to create chances for him. But if we're talking about your striker, that I mean, when people drop banter on people like Isak, people like Liverpool and all that, sometimes people don't go into the details of some of these things. Because if Isak is playing like 60 minutes plus, and then you're telling me that in all competitions, not just Premier League, in all competitions, Liverpool as a team have created only 4 clear chances for the guy. That should tell you something. That should clearly tell you something. That is why, for me, I wouldn't shed a tear if Slot leaves. I wouldn't. You already get a tear from me. I would say thank you for the Premier League last season, but you go. We don't want another Dutch coach. You get it? That would be actually my view. So
Mm.
if you're asking me what is going wrong with Liverpool, 70% of the blame, I'll put it on the coach's feet, because he's not making the hard decision. You get it? You can't tell me that. By the way, these were actually words from his own mouth. In a press conference, he talked about how he starts a season and he needs like 20 to 22 players, and he needs players like 2 players in every position. This guy decided that like they didn't sell Chiesa, and clearly it looks like the guy doesn't want the guy. But the guy has been coming off the bench and performing, at least putting up some performances. Now, you want to tell me that players who have not been performing are playing 90 minutes, and you're making a player like Chiesa play 12 minutes? Bring them up, at least change something. Now, if I'm to put Chiesa aside, the side of Gakpo, one thing that many people do not know, people talk about Liverpool sold Diaz, or Liverpool sold Diaz. One thing that people do not know, Diaz wanted to leave Liverpool. There is speculation about his relationship with the coach going sour. I do not know how true that is, but the one thing that I know is that Diaz wanted to leave Liverpool. There was a contract that was put before him, and he felt that leaving would be a better option. And Liverpool said that, you know what, if a good offer comes, we are taking it. And when the good offer came, Liverpool took it. Now, Liverpool did have the money. You get, yes, you sold a player like Diaz, but this is what Liverpool and Slot and his entire management say. They say that we do not want to buy another player in that position because the player will be blocking the growth of Rio. Rio, that guy who is supposed to be the understudy of Gakpo. This guy is 17 years. By the time you're bringing him to actually take on a position in the squad, that means that you're trying to tell us that that guy is actually ready. So my question is, why isn't he playing? You only bring him on when all hope is lost. I can assure you, him coming to play in the Newcastle game, it was because all hope was lost. He just wanted to show that actually he has done something. So the fact that the guy looks to be tactically lost, he looks to be so confused. I mean, really, the guy had 2 international breaks. Guys, 2 international breaks. And after every international break, he would lose. And then after the international break, it's like as if nothing changed. This is before Liverpool played Man U. My dad is a Man U fan. And I told my dad, but I told my dad, thank God for this international break. If Liverpool had played Man U before this international break, was going to lose. That's what I told him. Hands down. Now, in my mind, I was thinking that, you know what? This coach is going to try to tweak something. He's going to improve something. Do you know what the coach did? The coach went to Dubai for a holiday with his family. We came back and Man U beat us hands down. That is why I'm telling you, the coach carries a very huge blame in all this. Very huge. Now, let's leave that aside. The next international break, what happens? We lose to, which team did we lose to? We lost to Man City. In a very pathetic way. It is not a shame. By the way, guys, it's not a shame to lose to Man City. Man City is a big team. Man City might be having their troubles right now, but Man City is a proper team. At least they are not at least below average. They are at least slightly above average. They are a good team. You get? Now we lose in a very terrible way against Man City. Now the thing is that maybe our international break is here. We are hoping that something is going to improve because there are actually some players who, if there's anything I remember about Ferguson, they were every time there was an international break, there are players that would remain. Even Wenger himself, there are players that will not be called up for their nation, but these are players that would be first team players, and these are players that they would work with. And in the next game, most of these players would actually play. They would actually play, especially positions where some of these players come from, like South America and all that, because people are coming with fatigue. You get stuff like that, and I mean they have traveled and things like that. You get. Guys, international break comes. We have been craving for Chiesa. We have been hoping for something. Guys, international break happens. International break happens. And then we come back and play Nottingham Forest. My God. Did you guys watch that game? It's like there was no international break. Nothing changed. Nothing changed.
Well, Oscar.
So,
well,
I beg your pardon.
someone in the comments just said that With Ancelotti at Liverpool, the main challenge is the transition from Klopp's intense emotion and high pressing era to a more controlled possession based style. Do you agree with that?
I agree. I 100% agree. And let me just talk about that. This that thing that Klopp had created, that was it was a style that Liverpool was known for.
Yeah.
You get that person for that comment, because that clearly tells you something about the team that actually won the Premier League. It wasn't his team. It wasn't his team. That team was built to actually press. That team was built to be intense. That team was built to actually be high octane. I mean, players like Diogo Jota would guy would press you until you're like, no, he has up and down, or across the line, depending. You get guys would press you from out front, and it would be very hard to actually come out. You get now the season begins. The guy is trying to like convert the team into his own image. You get what was the comment? Talking about more control and more possession based. Now he brought on players who actually have something, an idea about possession and trying to control the game. Now the problem here is that with all that control and all that kind of thing will work in a division. Those things will work in maybe another league. But in Premier League, guys, in Premier League, what style has not that coach has ever been successful. That style cannot work in Premier League. It goes back to what I was saying at the beginning, guys. Premier League is about energy. It's about speed. Like, guys, look
And
at those
also,
midfields.
Oscar, sorry to cut
Yes,
you short.
yes, please. Yes,
I
please.
remember one time I told you that these big teams have traditional way of playing football.
Yes,
Liverpool has their
yes,
style, Real Madrid has their style. Like you don't just wake up and
yes.
change the way the team
And just
play.
bring something new.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
yes. So,
now you went to a more controlled way of playing soccer, and then also started playing with a number 10 that has never been Liverpool, man.
look. That business of saying more controlled and possession based is another way of saying that playing soft,
Yeah.
playing soft, playing soft has never worked in the Premier League. There is nothing soft about the Premier League. You look at all the every team in their midfield. These teams have people who are firm, people who are strong, okay? Guys who knock you off. I mean, no wonder Crystal Palace keeps manhandling us every time we play against them. The guys literally manhandle Liverpool every time we play against them. Why? Because these guys have high octane players. They have their own style. Their style is a 3-5-3 kind of way. And they are not moving away from it because that's what works for them. You get Arsenal has their own style. You get Arsenal, we defend and then we move on. We close you down. You get that is Arsenal style. Now you're bringing control and all that. Man, it will never work.
Oscar, I
This
have a question
guy,
in the comments.
yes, please.
Uh, is Slot the right guy for the club, or if not, who would be the right man for the job?
Let me answer it this way. It's not my job to get the right guy. That to tell you that I don't believe in the right guy.
Mm,
Anyway, since he's asking about who can take on the job after him, uh, the one thing I can say is that I believe if Slot is willing to actually change, then I believe that it's possible that he can actually stay on and actually be the right guy. But if there's anything I've learned about the coaches of this era live and die by their styles. And for me, that is so pathetic and so annoying. I've
mm,
seen Pep play 4-1-4-1. I've seen Pep play 4-2-3-1. This is a guy that is only known for playing 4-3-3. And that's why I believe he's actually the best coach in this era. And I can actually even say maybe in the past eras. That is
mm.
just my view. But these coaches of today, we have seen Amorim. Amorim lives and dies by his style. You get it?
Yeah.
Now we are looking at Slot. He is going to live and die by his style. And if there's anything we have known, it's that this soft style of his, which has been called controlled, and that's just a fancy way of saying so. That soft style will never work. It will never work. And
Mm,
especially the fact that he has changed the entire team and changed the entire identity of the club. I'm telling you, if I'm just, because I cannot predict the future, I can only use analyze history to actually help me predict the future. From the historical things that I've looked at, there is nothing that is going to change. He's going to still try to play his soft style, and it's still not going to change. Teams are still going to tear through us, and it's going to be a very big problem. I believe that Kakis, that defender, is a happy guy. I believe Konate is a happy guy. I believe those players can actually play with energy. I believe they're actually good players. But this soft style, it will never work. It will never work. The only way I see it working is if Slot decides to actually either blend his soft style
mm,
with the high octane game that Liverpool has been known for. If he
mm,
tries that, he has the players to actually do that. All he has to do now is think about how to make that midfield harder.
mm.
Improve that midfield. Improve that midfield.
Well,
For me, that's what I would say.
Jamie Carragher came out and said that he has 1 week to sort out everything. Otherwise, he will be fired. I don't know the hierarchies stand on the situation. Has he been cushioned yet? Like, has he been
No,
given ultimatum?
no. You see, Liverpool, unlike other teams, Liverpool is one team that doesn't sack coaches, especially coaches that have won the Premier League. Liverpool has never sacked any coach that actually won the Premier League. Liverpool,
Mm,
FSG is going to stick with that guy. The only way that FSG doesn't stick with him is if there is pressure coming from the fans. That is the
mm,
only way. But if the fans are calm, there is no way that he's actually going to, they are going to sack him. And from what the news that I've read and heard, it's a surprise. But by the time fans start walking out, the last
mm,
time fans walked out it was during Hodgson's time. By the time fans start walking out, that clearly tells you that he doesn't have that much leverage. The way Klopp had unlimited leverage. Even when things were bad, the fans will still stick with Klopp. You get this guy doesn't have that leverage. Klopp doesn't have that leverage. So for me, I believe that West Ham, the best Liverpool is going to get is a draw. The next games, there are still losses going to come. And now we shall see how the fans will take it on from there. But if it is in the hands of FSG, I don't see FSG sacking him. I don't see FSG sacking him. Uh, I wouldn't. I had my reservations in the past about FSG, but where how FSG has moved and how FSG has taken this club, I can't put any blame at their feet.
mm,
I've always been one person who has blamed them for not spending, and the time that they spend, someone ends up doing all this rubbish. So I mean, how can I blame them? I can't blame them. So for me, they have FSG has a lot of leverage with me as a person. In my opinion, I would not blame them for anything. Either they stay with him or they don't stay with him. I'm not going to blame them that much because I mean their style has always worked more than it has not worked. They have always, things have always worked out somewhere somehow. So if we're talking about who can be the next coach, like the person in the comments was asking, who can be the next coach? Personally, I would be very open to any coach that is willing to actually revamp that midfield because I believe
mm,
it has a lot to do with what the forward line and what the defense is going to do. I believe Nagelsmann is wouldn't be bad,
mm,
but I believe that would be after. Of course, that would be after the season has ended. But if you are talking about an immediate solution, I remember Chelsea with Lampard, things were going bad, and Chelsea was lucky that Tuchel was also sacked by PSG at that time, so they managed to get Tuchel. But right now, I can only throw out theories because there is no coach out there that actually I can actually look at that I can say that this coach. But in theory, I'll be very okay with Nagelsmann. Um, a coach that actually has at least some CV is coming from with a CV from a club that I mean the guy has at least some cachet, because these coaches who come from these average works have always not really worked out for Liverpool. Because until we got Klopp, the coach that actually had some weight that actually, things that happen. By the way, guys, I strongly believe that actually the players in that locker room, they don't really fear Slot. I don't think they fear Slot.
Mm.
In Arsenal's squad, Arsenal's squad, those players respect and they fear Arteta. Arteta
Mm.
is someone whom I believe is mistake prone. But if there's something I can never criticize him for, I can never criticize him for not being someone who actually holds his players accountable. Saka, Gabriel, those big names in that team, they fear him. What he
Mm.
says stands. Now that is the coach. I don't think these players fear Slot. I believe that players like Salah, players like VVD, believe they're actually bigger than the coach. That is
Mm.
just my personal view. It's just my personal view. Why do I say that? It's because he has never held any of them to account. Players think up the joint. Any coach, if a player thinks up the joint, let the player know that you know what, you cannot be doing that and just keep your position. But
Mm.
Konate will stick up the joints, will be awarded with another game, another 90 minutes. Sticks up the joint, is awarded with another minute. VPT messes up, is awarded with Salah messes up. And I'm asking myself, it looks like, is there anyone on this bench or do we only have goalkeepers on this bench? You get it? Like seriously. Is it that we
Ken,
just don't have players on the bench?
Ken.
Yeah.
Liverpool's next three games is West Ham, Sunderland, and Leeds. Do you believe that Slot can turn things around for them, or uh,
Looking at
he's
their
just
recent
going to?
form,
Mm.
obviously we all expect them to struggle, but you never know. This is football, really. If they work out the problems in the club, you never they can start putting out results. But we have been seeing West Ham improving over the last few games. They've been trying to do better since they signed in another coach there. So that is going to
Mm.
be a tough game. I don't know. Is that game at Anfield still?
No, no.
It's away.
Away.
You wish.
The problem, the thing is, even at Anfield now, Anfield has lost all its glory. Or any team can
Yeah,
just go there and dunk on them. So
you
it
know,
doesn't even matter if it is at Anfield or it's away.
it's even
But
worse that it's
against
away.
West Ham,
Mm.
they can win, but it's a tricky game. Sunderland is even a more tricky game than Leeds. They should really win against Leeds. I heard you said Gallagher said he has been given 1 week, right? So
Then he said,
mm,
just his opinion, that he has 1 week to fix things up.
By the way, Karaga is
yeah,
just another cow. Is really another coward, or should I say hypocrite? That guy, no. Those
Mm.
are those are guys who they will say anything just to try to look nice before the media, before they not try to I don't know. These guys who are not independent, who are not really independent from like these big media houses, it's like they just can't speak clearly about their club teams when their teams are performing badly. It's like you have to wait for independence, what to actually come out and be clear. Come out and say that you know what the guy is performing. Because you're talking of Carragher saying that he has been given 1 week. Carragher was saying just I think a few days ago, talking of, I'm not yet there to say that Slot should be out. And I'm asking myself, what is this guy watching?
Mm.
Carragher was in even worse in bad Liverpool teams. But those Liverpool teams are not as bad as this. They're not as bad as this. Especially with this kind of group of players who probably would walk into other teams and actually perform very well because they're actually good players. Ken, I'm sorry to cut you short, please. You can
yeah,
continue.
but anyway, for me, the things I've been reading online, most people are pointing out that Liverpool is totally lacking the leadership aspect, which has been one of its strongest points
Thank
in the
you.
previous
Thank
seasons.
you.
Van Dijk
Exactly.
has been a very good leader. Look at Muhammad. Okay, those guys, they've been very good, but that sense of leadership seems to be dying, which is a very strong point for any team that wants to win games. I mean, if you look at Arsenal, they have the likes of Megalis who really command when on the pitch. So
Yeah,
if they
right.
really work out their things, I feel like they are going to pick up some points, but at least they should get 7 points out of those 3 games, which means that they have to at least win one.
Mm.
If they're to lose, let them lose to Sunderland, which we all know has been good this season. Then maybe draw to West Ham and beat Leeds. Yeah.
Well,
But
uh,
at the moment, for me personally, my expectations for Liverpool are as low as that for United. Although when we're going to this season, if you remember very well, my prediction was Liverpool winning.
yeah, me
They
too.
first went. They first went. Was it a 4 game winning streak there? Their first four
Yeah,
games, or was it
Five,
5? Yeah,
mm,
five.
5.
five.
It was actually six. It was actually
Then
six
after
because
that,
they are 18 points
everything
now.
completely fell apart.
Mm.
Yeah. So Liverpool, I really don't know, but there might be a curse somewhere. Maybe some player there did what for United and buried a hyena in Anfield, because
Well,
really you have the good players, but things are just not working out. These are players that do not really need a coach to win against some teams like PSV. Really, you have the quality. You do not need a coach. So for me, my the blame shouldn't be totally to, because really Liverpool on paper it should be better than Arsenal on paper if you're comparing players. So these players can, if they really cared that much, they would have been fighting some of these games even without the coach's directives, and they win it.
okay.
So those are my points.
Well, that is Kenny's submission on Liverpool. Well, for me, I can't really lie to you that I understand what is really happening at Liverpool, because I didn't even watch the last game, the UCL game, since I was watching Arsenal. But what according to what Oscar said, Slot is getting almost everything wrong.
Slaughtered.
But it is up to him now to change things. He has 3 games that seem easy on paper. He should be able to turn things around, but we all know that that's not how things work. Uh, Football is full of surprises, but well, let's see against West Ham. But if you are a West Ham fan or a player, you'll be looking at getting something from that game, according to the previous results for Liverpool, honestly. Well, moving forward on Manchester City, they have also lost their last 2 games. They lost against Newcastle. I don't know if you guys watched it, but it was full of misses. I mean, Haaland missed so many chances. Harvey Barnes, before he scored, missed chances. It was a good game to watch. They lost that one. And then they went ahead to lose at home against Leverkusen 2-0. They didn't even score, man. Uh, I understand Guardiola rested some of the players, Haaland, Chucky. They just came on later on uh, when he was trying to at least to get something from the game, but unfortunately they didn't manage to uh, recover. Well, I don't know, Oscar, what is going on at City? They are so inconsistent this season. Just after beating Liverpool with quite a good performance, we all thought that they are back. But man,
Speaking,
they went ahead to lose on two games in a row. What is happening? Do you feel that City can really uh, compete uh, against Arsenal this season all the way?
the direct question, the direct answer to that would be they are the nearest option that can actually compete
Mm,
with Arsenal. Are they capable? That will be we shall have to see as the season goes on if they're actually capable. But if you have to look
yeah.
at the lots at the back, they're actually the closest option. They're actually the closest. So yeah, I think they are the closest. Speaking of inconsistency, I would actually rather be as a Liverpool fan. I would rather Liverpool
Mm,
is in the position of Man City and struggling and in the position where we are. Why? Because, like you said in the Newcastle game, They created chances, but just didn't take the chances. I would take that any day. Where the chances
Yeah.
are being created, but the chances are not being taken. That means that all you have to do is now just correct a few things here and there, because the chances
Mm.
are actually being created. You get. So I would rather
Yeah.
be in such a position. City, I believe, is in a position of a rebuild. I think we forget a lot. We forget a lot that City from last season was in a place whereby their players were either old, their players were worn out, that it's like that hang of competing had left them. You know, these guys, let's not forget that these guys have won 4 Premier League titles in a row, which is not a small feat. It is something that is actually major. So
Mm.
for me, I feel that they are still, unlike Pep Guardiola's other seasons where Pep would build a squad in one season. This season, I believe that, well, that 115 charges that is against them has had something to do with how they actually spend, how they actually move. Because I don't think they would have spent that amount of money that they spent. I believe they would have been up there with Liverpool in the spending, 500 million and up there. I believe that's where they would have been. I think they are still in the process of rebuilding. They already have the striker. They have already the keeper. They are building slowly by slowly. I believe they are going to try to find ways to either improve Nico to see if that is the option, future option and now option for Rodri, and improve different areas. This
Yeah.
guy, uh, Pep is one person who is not shy to actually buy you in this season and sell you the next season. You see, Savinho was actually almost being sold. So
Yeah.
I don't think that, yeah. So for me, to answer your questions, I believe that they are still in the process of a rebuild, so they are going to struggle here and there. Many people, because people are used to seeing them winning, the general view would be that, oh, they are performing badly, they are now in a deep and all that. But if you look at it, these guys are coming from a position, like I said, of trying to get rid of the old players. The players who are there, their hunger has died out. They have played. I mean, they have won so many trophies, 4 Premier League titles in a row. The hunger is not there. They have to really revamp the team and bring the team's hunger back. Things like that. So it's a process. They are still rebuilding. So for me, I believe that it will take them 1 or 2 seasons to actually get to the Pep team that was there before. So once if they actually if they can compete against Arsenal, I believe Arsenal has a direct route to the title. It's only going to be down to them, because every team that is down here has so many challenges that I don't know. It will just be Arsenal to just mess up their own chances.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, that's what
Well,
I think. They are still rebuilding.
whoever declined that 70 million offer for Savinho in the summer needs to be fired, because Spurs was really willing to pay that amount. Savinho hasn't looked good of recent, man.
Mm,
Been
yeah.
average. I actually was watching one of the Manchester City fan ranting, and he said they need to check his passport. He must be Peruvian. He's not Brazilian. Well, Ken, do you have anything to add on Manchester City?
I believe Oscar said almost everything. For me
Mm,
personally, I mean, City was the team that was giving me hopes that it could stop Arsenal. You get, because I'm
mm.
against Arsenal in every possible angle. Because
Yeah,
I
I
know
know.
the amount of noise they will make for us if they go ahead and win that trophy. But
Yeah.
now
Mhm.
we are seeing Man City slacking. It has been inconsistent. So if they don't put that challenge, really, Arsenal is just going to have a swift, journey
Mm,
to that trophy. Eh?
mm.
But I think there's still a lot of games to judge. You can never know. It can come back and win consistently, and then we see what happens. But for now,
Mm.
City is not convincing. It's not convincing. I cannot back you to win the trophy.
Okay.
So right now, I'm
Um,
only seeing Arsenal.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
and the other issue with City recently
yeah.
the only player scoring goals is Haaland. I mean, outside Haaland, no one else is trying to score goals.
Yeah.
So once Haaland doesn't turn up, no one else is. You get, which is
Yeah.
a really big problem. If you look back at the City that was beating up teams,
Mm.
midfielders were scoring, defenders were scoring, and now it's a totally different story. So once Pep Guardiola works on
And
some of those things, maybe they can be back on the map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on to Arsenal. Yeah, they have
and that
been
takes
looking.
and that takes me straight. That
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was saying, and that takes me straight to the point that I was actually making. That Pep, things like that are not a surprise to Pep. So it's
Yeah.
possible that Pep would have actually brought in either an extra striker, or he would have brought in some wingers who actually can add to the goals, or even
Yeah.
a 10. You get? He would have brought in players because I
But he
don't think
has
this is a surprise
he
to
has
him.
he has Mamush and Ryan Chucky.
I think one of his problems or his mistakes was selling Alvarez out of City
True. True.
because
Alvarez wanted to leave.
they
Alvarez
had the
wanted to
way they
leave.
worked together with Haaland to bring in goals.
Alvarez wanted to leave. Guys, you see, a situation
Mm.
whereby a player wants to leave, I think it shouldn't be held on against the coach. It's just like
Yeah.
Diaz wanting to leave. You can't hold Liverpool. As much as he was on contract, keeping a player that is not happy would actually be useless because it's possible that we will not be getting any production from Diaz and he will just
Mm.
run down his contract. So allowing a player to leave when he wants to leave, it is something that shouldn't hold against the club.
Okay.
Because actually he wanted to leave. Alvarez wanted to leave.
Mm. Well, moving
Yeah, he
on
wanted
to
to
us,
be the main man.
they have been looking good of recent. They beat Spurs 4-1, and they went ahead to beat Bayern at home 3-1. A game that was really enjoyable to watch from a fan point of view. I know it was an unsuccessful hate watch from Ken, who before the game was sending me messages. Have you eaten? Make sure that you've ate well. Blah blah blah. I had to tell the guy, man, chill, chill. You're talking too early, man. Well,
Yeah.
fortunately for us, we went ahead to win the game, and just to mention out a few players that stood out for me, man. Declan Rice had such a good performance. That is up there in one of his best displays for Arsenal. And Julian Timberman, for such a tiny man to be that strong and good technically, honestly, it's incredible. I'm really happy for the team, man. I believe that if we keep on doing the right things consistently, we will win something major this season. I don't know what you have to say about Arsenal, guys.
Man, Arsenal matches I like to disagree. It's on it's the best team in Europe right now. That one I have to accept. Because coming
Yeah.
on to stop Bayern's winning streak, Bayern hasn't lost a had not yet lost a game this season until they faced
Mm,
Arsenal. Well, you can argue that Arsenal had the home advantage, but really, if you watch that game, you would see that the better team was Arsenal. Arsenal went all in. Bayern tried to equalize through that 17-year-old kid,
yeah,
but
he's
still,
such.
Arsenal at home or even anyway, even if that game was at Bayern, I feel like the way Arsenal played, they're just
Mm,
too, they're just well united. Like they're pieced together very well, and that becomes a challenge for any team. Any team in Europe right now facing Arsenal should just come and know that they can either receive or. So
mm,
kudos to Arsenal for stopping Bayern there. It was a very
mm.
unsuccessful watch for us United fans. Of course, we are not happy.
Yeah.
Uh, but I want to believe that maybe Chelsea will put a smile on our face over the weekend because they're also gaining some momentum. They beat Barcelona over the weekend there, so they can
Mm.
do something. I don't know. Is that game at Emirates or at
No,
the
Stamford
Stamford Bridge?
Bridge.
Yeah, so it will be
They
a
beat a
battle.
poor they
It will
beat a
be an
poor
interesting
Barcelona.
game where we shall see the midfield of Declan Rice and Caicedo there. I mean, they've
Yeah.
been comparing the two. It's now time to see who is the midfield general. But
Mm.
still, on paper, Arsenal is
But
better. But you don't know what to
they play
expect.
different positions. They play different positions.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Declan Rice is more of a
But
box to box. This guy is a deep
what I
set.
can say what I can say about Arsenal. Arsenal right now, yes, is the best team in Europe. And you see, like the media will do their thing that they always do. But you see, this is a movie I've watched before. And I don't think that anything is going to change. Where have I
Mm.
watched this movie from? I watched this movie from Liverpool. Liverpool at this time last season was actually the best team in Europe.
Mm.
Liverpool at this time was being looked at as a team that is going to win probably a treble or a quadruple. You get,
Yeah.
but I strongly believe Arsenal is going to top the Champions League standings. I strongly believe Arsenal is going to top the Champions League standings. But you see, the one thing that is going to, like someone said, it's a bit early. But the problem is that the chasing pack in Premier League, how far are you? You get, because just like Liverpool, Arsenal is going to give teams chances to go ahead of them.
Mm.
That one, count on it. Just to know it's going to happen. The problem is when Arsenal gives you chances, are you there to take them? Same thing that happened last season. When Liverpool gave Arsenal 5 chances, Liverpool gave Arsenal. Arsenal didn't take any of the chances. When
Yeah.
Liverpool loses, Arsenal draws. I mean, lose when Arsenal loses, Liverpool wins. When Liverpool loses, Arsenal draws or loses also. You get. So in such a situation, there is no way that you can actually go ahead. But if there's one thing, Arsenal is going to give you chances. It's going to, because there is no Arsenal is going to go unbeaten. Arsenal is going to actually lose games. Arsenal is going to draw games. You get.
Mm.
But the question is, who is going to be there to take the chances? Now that is a bit different in Champions League. You get, because in Champions League, the question will be that at that time when Arsenal is drawing or losing games, with their form at that time, who are they facing? You get it? Who are they facing? When Liverpool was drawing or losing games, Liverpool faced the best team in Champions League. If
Yeah.
Liverpool had faced a different team, Liverpool possibly would have beaten that team. But Liverpool faced the best team. So that is why I believe now, as much as I've said what I've said about Premier League, with Champions League, Arsenal's going far is going to depend on who they face, where your luck actually lands you. If your luck
Yeah.
lands you on the wrong team, man, hey, you may face the same fate as Liverpool going out
That's
early. You get it?
that's
Yeah. So,
true.
but if you face the right team, you get and then
Mm.
maybe you face the wrong team in the final. That's maybe the only way that you will probably go far. But for Premier League, I'm actually looking at Arsenal in terms of Premier League, not in terms of Champions League, because I believe
Mm.
Champions League is really a bit tricky. But when we're looking at Premier League in particular, the closest contenders, Chelsea and Man City, I mean, it's hard to actually call them contenders. You get,
Mm.
they are about 4 or 5 points away. You get, but the problem is, can they keep pace with Arsenal? You get,
Yeah.
can they keep
Yeah.
it? Because the fact is that they're not going to play each other out for a while. But as they are not playing each other, are you dropping points as Arsenal is gaining points? You get it?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, for me, I believe it will go down to Arteta. Like I've always said, even from the beginning of the season, I chose Arsenal to win the trophy, but I have always known that it is not about the squad; it's about Arteta. The
Yeah.
question is, what is Arteta going to do? That is it, purely that. Yeah,
Um, time is really chasing us quickly. Let's move on to predictions. I do you have the fixtures right?
I can get it.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so so we
Mm,
start.
yeah.
Okay, we have Brentford, Burnley,
Brentford, Manly. Who's at home?
Brentford,
Okay. I'm going for a 2-1 Burnley win. 2-1
I'm
Brentford
going.
win.
Yeah, same here.
2-1 what? Burnley win.
Brentford,
Brentford.
Brentford.
Let me go for a 2-0 Brentford.
0 Brentford. Uh-huh. Next one.
2-1. To next one, Sunderland, Bournemouth. Sunderland is at home.
Sunderland, Bournemouth. Oh, this is good, huh? I'm going to go for a 1-1.
I also want to go for a
Ah,
draw because Sunderland is lacking. It's losing its form.
Mm.
I'll go for a Bournemouth win.
I'll go for a 2-2.
I'll go for a Bournemouth win 2-1.
2-1. Uh-huh. Next one.
Man City Leeds.
Man City Leeds. I'm going to go for a 2-0. City win.
3-0 City.
3-1.
Next one.
Everton, Newcastle.
The Newcastle. Wow. This is a good matchup. Everton doesn't lose at home. I'm going for a 2-1 Everton win.
I'll go for a 1-1.
1-1.
I'll go for 1-0 Everton.
1-0. Uh-huh.
Tottenham, Fulham.
London Derby. Spurs at home.
Mm.
No. I'm going for a 2-2.
2-1 Spurs.
I'll go for a 2-0
2-0.
Spurs.
Win, huh? Uh-huh. Next one.
Crystal Palace, Man U.
Crystal.
I'll be surprised
Wow.
if Man U wins this game.
Crystal Palace United. You're going at Selhurst Park.
Mm.
You're not winning that one. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm also lowering my expectations for this game. So let me just,
Yes.
but I hope we score.
I'm
I'll
going
give
for
it
a
a 2-1.
2-1. 2-1 Palace. You're going for a 2-1 United?
No, 2-1 Paris.
One,
I'm lowering my expectations.
Okay.
1-0. Actually,
Oscar.
actually, let me go for. I'll go for a 1-1.
Sorry.
1-1.
Why is it my net? Is it my network lagging? Oscar, I didn't
No,
catch your
1-1.
1. Okay.
Next one is
Next one.
West Ham, Liverpool.
West Ham Liverpool.
Mm.
West Ham doesn't keep clean sheets, man. How terrible
I'll
Liverpool
go for.
is.
I'll
I'm
go for
going
a
to go
2-2.
for a Liverpool win. 2-1.
I'll go for 2-2.
I also go for a
Um
2-2.
Ken, I did catch you.
I'll go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2. Oscar.
Aston 2-2.
2-2.
Aston Villa, Wolves.
3-0 Villa.
2-0 Villa.
2-1 Villa.
Uh-huh.
Nottingham Forest, Brighton.
2-2.
I would say
2-1.
I would say 1-0 Brighton.
1
2-1
0.
Nottingham Forest.
Next one.
Chelsea Arsenal. That's the last one.
Hmm?
Chelsea Arsenal.
This has a draw written all over it. I'm going for a
Eh, That's,
1.
that's. I'm also thinking it's going to be a draw. I'll go for a 1-1.
Arsenal is going to beat them 2-1.
I wouldn't be
2-1.
surprised if Arsenal wins, but I'll go for a 1-1.
Okay. Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, I need to appreciate people that really tuned in today. The engagement has been strong in the comments. Thank you for tuning in, always. It's been a long show, quite enjoyable, a lot of cooking, but yeah, it's all about banter, nothing personal. Well, we'll be back next week to review all these games that are going to be this weekend. I really want to thank Oscar and Kane for sacrificing their time to come on the show. And well, let me say a good evening, and let me leave the guys to really say bye bye to you.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We are always here every Friday. Yeah,
Mm,
your comments are valuable to us and help us also to improve and also help us to understand more about the game, just in case we miss a few things. So, yeah,
mm,
thank you very much for tuning in, guys.
Yes, it has been a pleasure, guys. Good evening.
yeah, the man
So,
just wants to go and take
eh,
it up. Well, thank you, people, for tuning in. Always, God bless you. Bye bye.